opening reception. This is his senior exhibition, and Michael's going to talk about his work.
Thank you, Professor Flynn. Over here is all the work I did for typography. First one is an eye test. And as you can see, the letters make up the famous Star Wars slogan that you see at the beginning of the movies, "A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away." It gets from bigger to smaller as you keep going down. The one on the bottom is probably my favorite out of all of the works. If you look real closely, all of the quotes that Darth Vader has said in all of the Star Wars movies make up the image of Darth Vader himself. The next 5 are fictitious magazine covers I did for the game plan. I took all the images with my camera and converted them into magazine covers using Photoshop. The next 2 I did for a course called Desktop Publishing, which, in case you don't know what desktop publishing is, it's kind of like graphic design, except you pose your work using Adobe programs for your desktop. First one is probably my favorite out of the desktop publishing work that I did. It's called the Bob Ross Art Challenge, where I had to paint happy little trees, as Bob Ross would put it. I made this into like a painting-esque work using Photoshop, believe it or not. It actually looks like a painting done by Bob Ross. This next one I call Surrealism, the 4 Seasons. All of the backgrounds make up one guy's head. His forehead, you can see the golden leaves on the tree with the snowman on the right. In the sunglasses, you can see the snow and blue flowers on top of the snow as an indication that spring is coming. And on the other lens is the sun for summertime. I made up the tree trunk for the nose, and I made the leaves with made up the beard with his leaves. And at the bottom of his head is a background with the trees. And in case you don't know what that hourglass is here for, it's an indication that seasons come and seasons go. The next 2 images I did for a photography class, which I really enjoyed. The first one is called Reflection. I took it in the Creek Park back in November of 2016 with the leaves in the river. The next photograph I took of 2 flamingos sleeping. This was during my trip at the Norristown Zoo. I haven't tried to figure out what the name of that zoo was for. The next one on the lower right is also for desktop publishing. I did a photo montage using various photographs. In case you don't know what the hands in the car are for, it could be implied that I would be saying, "Daddy, please give me the car." And over here I did is the World War I propaganda poster brochure that I did as an independent project for Dr. Kevin Myers. It showcases all of the hard work put into the posters that were made during World War I. I have some extra copies here and some business cards. Feel free to take one if you want. And last but not least is my printmaking works. Right here is the bunny t-shirt designs that I made using silk screen. I used a special kind of ink to pour on that silk screen plate. Then I printed it all on this red t-shirt. I did the same for the blue one on the lower right. And over here is my calligraph assignment. It's supposed to be entitled Self-Portrait. I accidentally titled it Funny Little Bunnies. I guess I wasn't awake at the time that Pat Flynn wanted me to title these. And over here is Bluebird, which I did using a woodcut. Believe me, it was a nightmare. I first drew the design on two separate pieces of paper. Then I traced it onto the woodcut, and then I had to carve out the unwanted background. And I ended up cutting myself a few times during the process. And over here are the designs that I've created using a dry point plate. This one is of a spider web with an eyeball in the middle. Second one is pretty much the same design, except it's done with the Sheena Calais. And this next one is the flower design based on a design that I did for 2D design. It's basically an infinite flower in the background with a spider in the middle of the circle. And I already told you about the bunny t-shirt design on the blue shirt. And that basically concludes my gallery. Once again, I would like to thank everybody for attending. And I'd like to especially thank Pamela Flynn for helping me out.
Any questions?
Any questions? Any questions whatsoever?
I missed the beginning, I'm sorry. Are those all your photographs that you took?
You mean with the flamingos and the reflection?
Yes.
Yes, I took them. I took these photographs.
Very nice balance in them.
Thank you.
Why did you choose to pick blue mats?
Because it was all they had. And so it was going nice with the framing.
It looks really nice. It's always disappointing.
I know. She has a point. It's the first time.
It's the first.
You could say I mixed it up a little, since most people were using white mats boards to frame their works.
We tried floating them so they won't have to wait.
Yeah. And then these are, is he a graphic design major?
Yes, I am a graphic design major.
So you had designed every single image, like every piece of that, correct?
I designed a brochure.
Yeah, so, but you had the brochure is 8 pages
Yes.
altogether, so each page was a separate design.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool, very nice job. I don't think people, that you always appreciate that, how much work goes into that, because each one's separate. Do you
They
have-
also did the same thing during the next World War.
Oh, did you? Nice.
Ever hear of the Rosie the Riveter? That was during World War II. And I'm pretty sure the Disney studio did propaganda of their own using their own characters. One of these posters depicts scratching fleas off, which depicts the Japanese soldiers. And another one has Donald Duck throwing a tomato at Hitler's face.
That's interesting because there's been some controversy about Disney, about Walt Disney himself, about his politics during the war. Did you come across any of that?
No.
Okay. Anybody else questions? Thank you very much, Mike.